Today is the anniversary of the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King would have been 90 years old had he lived this month. For the last 31 years, we've been honoring Dr. King with an annual dinner and reception, awards reception. And so I think the reason so many people come to honor Dr. King is because they appreciate how much he changed their lives and by extension, the world. So the men and women who are being honored tonight are people who helped keep the dream of Dr. King alive by keeping the movement for social justice going.
The one word that describes the impact that Dr. King had on my life would have to be service. My parents instilled in me when I was very young, and growing up, the idea of service to others is more important than service to yourself. I'm volunteering in the community, so I'm working a lot with the Midshipman Action Group. It's an extracurricular where we have midshipmen go out to the community in Annapolis, and they do things like tutor children. And as well, I'm also the president of the Midshipman Black Studies Club, so continuing that legacy of knowing our history as African Americans and being able to move forward from that, right? Learning the lessons of the people that paved the way for us to pay it forward. I think Dr. King would have definitely some things to say about the world we're living in today. And I think he would provide a lot of hope. He would think the world needs a lot of hope right now. Something to believe in, something to aspire to. And that's what he did in the 60s, and I think that's what he'd be doing today as well.
The first Women's March in January 2017, and originally we were going to go to DC, but my youngest was almost 3 months at the time, and I did not want to battle that cold weather with a tiny baby, so I was like, we'll just go to the Annapolis March. And there was no Annapolis March. So I worked with a few people, and in 4 days we got 1,600 people to an Annapolis March with a permit and speakers, and honestly that's where I like to work. I like working in that space of, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? Because that's what I did in the military. Like, logistics were one of my big things, and tactics, and really it's just social tactics, when you think about it. So shortly after that, we formed March on Maryland, and March on Maryland is a nonprofit. I think the reason I'm getting this award is because I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind. And we need more of that. Like, I can't wait for the time when this award is not necessary, and that means unconditional love and support and raising up the most marginalized amongst us, because injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
I've only been aldering for a year, but I think the work and the involvement in the community started a long time before that. I think it started with the lessons that my parents instilled in me. The most important character value, in my opinion, being humility. And the way my mom defines it, which I subscribe to, is recognizing one's strengths and using them to contribute for the good of society. But it's really all about the work that we all do together. People often will ask about the challenges of being the first Hispanic or the first Latino, and there are certain unique challenges. And again, it goes back to humility. I feel a moral obligation to, if you're in the place and you have the opportunities and the skills to help to do it, you have to do it. I think if Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today, I think he would be disappointed but not surprised, but still leading the effort, knowing that this is a continuous struggle that'll go on day to day, one step at a time, but we can never lose faith.
We've seen some remarkable things happen over the time.
One of the things that the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial dinners have done is created 3 memorials. We are now going to build one final memorial. It's very unfortunate, but it's important. Last year, June 28th, journalists were murdered at the Capital Gazette newspaper. So we're planning to do the 4th and final memorial. It's a memorial to them, and we believe that Dr. King lived, he would have supported such an effort.